Big Gamer out here. How are you guys doing today? I'm super. Thanks for asking. Welcome guys to Raiders of the Worst Game, the series where I hunt down and play the worst games. Right guys, today we're going to look at a little game called WWF Betrayal on the Gameboy Color. It's a game released back in 2001 for some aging Game Boy architecture back then, and obviously based on the WWF wrestling brand. Now, why have I chosen this game today? Because it actually has a 50% rating on Game Rankings. I know what you guys are thinking. It's not as low as some of the games we usually choose on this show, but if you look at some of the critical reception for the time, this game received 2 out of 5 by Game Vortex, 3.4 out of 10 for Video Game First, 4.9 out of 10 from GameSpot, who actually had this to say: there's only 6 levels, it has limited controls and idiotic AI, so not great praise from them. I think Nintendo Power did like it a fair bit though. They gave it kind of 3 out of 5. And so I thought I'd check it out, and as you can see from the screen, you're given a little kind of cutscene to start, kind of giving you a bit of motivation to get on with the game. As you can see, they've got this habit of shaking their fists at each other like crazy old men. Get off my lawn, you young'uns. And they just race off. Yep. Undertaker's in the ring. He's had a bin thrown at his head. You get to choose it from one of four characters, and it kind of plays like Double Dragon. And as you can tell, guys, it looks colourful enough. The chibi wrestlers are quite funny. The dialogue between the characters is somewhat hilarious. You kind of have a little bit of fun with it, but it does wear off after about 2 minutes, basically. And from playing the game, I've got to say that the GameSpot review does ring fairly true. I mean, to say it's it's limited is just about hits the nail on the head, really. The fun wears off quite quickly, and you're left to kind of stomp around. I mean, it's more of a mince, I'd say. Undertaker's never been so camp. And you kind of walk around Double Dragon style, or Final Fight style. Bash these guys, you've got a punch, you've got a kick. There's, I think he's also got a throw move, where he kind of like choke slams people. And you can pick up the weapons they drop. I don't know if we're about to do it in a second. But yeah, you can kind of pick up weapons and walk around and bash people with pipes and what have you. And yeah, it's set in the WWF universe, so it's got like kind of like ring areas and backstage areas. And if you ever played any of the games from that era, like the SmackDown games, then you would have seen plenty of these areas before, and they're all kind of represented. And to be fair, it does look nice for a Game Boy Color game. At the end of the day, it wasn't anywhere near the level of the Game Boy Advance when it came out. As you see, I was breaking into a bit of a sprint there for a second, and it does allow you to kind of run between sections when you need to progress there. Yeah, I mean, it's not the hardest game, but it can feel a bit difficult based purely on the fact that it's hard to kind of get up for the fights and try to use and game the AI, because it just gets a bit repetitive, to be honest. So I wouldn't say that this is a terrible game by any stretch of the imagination. It's one of the best games we've actually played so far on Raiders of the Worst Game. But to be honest, guys, this isn't a good game. It's not one I would necessarily tell you guys to run out and pick up, unless you're a wrestling fan and you just kind of want to own it for nostalgic purposes. It's not a great game, and I suppose a fair score for this one would be 4 out of 10. So the review sites, they weren't far off. It's not a great game. It's just very, very limited and a bit plain. So there you go, guys. Unfortunately, another week goes by and we still have failed to find the worst game ever. But we'll keep trying. We'll keep trying there. So if you enjoyed the video, guys, and you would like to see more terrible games, feel free to drop a like or share it with your friends. And comment below if there's any games you'd like to see. Cheers, guys.